This is the Maida Initiative, conversation without compromise.
While you're there, you're focused on doing the job. When you're at home, that's when you have time to ask yourself those types of questions of like, why are we going to go do this? And it is a bit of both, I think. I remember very distinctly the first time I went to Afghanistan. I'm sitting in the ready room. They're getting ready to take us from the bus to the aircraft to leave for Afghanistan. And commander walks in and says, "Hey, just so you know, there's been an insider attack in Afghanistan, and Matt Rowland and Forrest Sibley have been killed by an Afghan national in an Afghan, I think it was an Afghan army uniform." And we'd heard about this stuff before and seen it in the news. And it's been happening for years. It was nothing new, but those guys were guys that we had trained with. They were from the Special Tactics Squadron, literally across the street from my squadron. So we had trained with them regularly. We knew those guys, and it was tough to hear that right before you get on the plane to go overseas. And so you do it for them. You're trying to make sure that stuff like that just doesn't happen. That you stop reading stories about guys getting blown up by IEDs and dying in firefights and helicopter crashes and all this. But at the same time, you're also tired of reading stories about, girls getting doused with acid just because they're trying to go get an education. Like, that's horrific stuff. And there's tons of other stories like that that are way more graphic, that are sickening to hear, and people are doing it just because they believe differently. And that's motivating too. Like, you want to be there to make a better life for the people living in Afghanistan. Not just American interests.
So there's this kind of commitment to your kind of brothers in arms, right? The people you're right next to, and their sort of well-being. So there's a sense that kind of transcends the end result of the war, right? That if you are able to protect the people you're with and keep them safe, you can always count that as a win.
It's very complex. The last week with everything that's happened in Afghanistan, there's been a lot of emotions that have come out of the veteran and active duty community. And it's run the range from, was it all worth it? Why did my friends die for this? Oh, this is an utter failure. How could we let this happen? And it's been really tough watching and experiencing some of those emotions myself. And but as a result, I've also seen a lot of support come out of it, and a lot of really positive messages come out from other veterans and civilians and senior leaders and the community. The best analogy that I heard that really resonated with me was, if a doctor treats a patient for cancer and puts it into remission for 20 years, but the cancer comes back and kills the patient, the doctor doesn't sit there and go, well, why was it all worth it? Mm-hmm. And that's what we did. We held back the cancer for 20 years. We gave people a better opportunity over there. Afghanistan went on to win 2 Olympic medals in 2008 and 2012. They have women competing in their sports. They sent a female taekwondo competitor to the Olympic qualifying for 2020. Women are getting education. They have jobs. We're putting a stop to all the horrible things that ISIS and the Taliban and Al Qaeda and Haqqani Network and all these other groups are doing. and making people's lives better.